So when we were talking about rationalization of complex numbers, our focus was on the I, and we said that I has got a value which is -1. Now, what is important to know is that the concept that helps us to rationalize is the being able to understand how exponents work or radicals work. Okay, so we said that I squared is -1, owing to the fact that when we square this, we are squaring from the premise that the radical is actually power half, and then if we square it, this can cancel out and give us -1. So this concept is very powerful in mathematics, and it just doesn't apply to complex numbers. It can also apply to normal radicals, and I think this is some concept that we may have not covered in detail. So I just wanted to do 3 examples to continue on to continue from the rationalization of the complex numbers. So if we are given, for example, this one, how do we rationalize? We do the same thing as before. Okay, so what we do is we make sure that we square this. Okay, how can we square this so that we should free it up from this radical here? So we can square it by square root of 2. But remember, if we do this, then we've changed the integrity of this expression or number. So in order that we can maintain the integrity, we need to do it like that, so that this over that gives us 1, and then 1 maintains the integrity of this whole expression. So now we have 5 root 2, and then here we'll have root 2 times root 2. Now, we need to be careful here. We know that this is 5 root 2. We can't do much with that. But this one here, okay, root 2 times root 2 will give us root 2 squared. So now this one gives us 2, and we must be careful not to think that this one gives us 4. Okay, so we have to be careful. This gives us 2. So we would have rationalized this expression there. Another example would be this one here. Okay, so remember, this has grown a bit from the previous example that we did. So now here, what do? We said that we look for the conjugate of this side. So here we have 12, and then here we maintain 4 plus root 7. Okay, and then we're going to look for the conjugate of this one. The conjugate of that one there is, remember, we are saying that the conjugate of this one here would be x minus y. So here we get x squared minus y squared. So this is the concept. Remember, we said that we have to square this radical in order for us to release the number from the radical sign. So here we'll have the radical. Radical, we said it's got the same numbers, but just different sign in the middle. Okay, it doesn't matter which one is first and which one is second. All we need to make sure is that these numbers are the same, but we have a different sign in the middle. All right, so here we're going to attach these two. Okay, and then at the bottom here, we're going to square one part, and then we're also going to square the other part. The other part is root 7 squared. So we continue on from there. This will give us 48 minus 12 root 7. Okay, what else do we do from here? We find the square root of this. We divide, or we find the square of that. So that would be 16. And then here we say that we're not getting 49 there. We're going to get 7. So this is 48 minus 12 root 7. And then we'll divide by 9 here. Okay. And so this can be simplified. I can bring out 3. It will give me 16 minus 4 root 7, like that. Then over 9. So 1 here, 3 there. Right? So we get 16 minus 4 root 7 over 3. This way, we would have taken care of the this radical is no longer there at the bottom here. You can factorize if you want to 4 root 7 over 3. It's the same. As long as you got to this point here, I think you should be fine. Okay. This is the third example. And remember, these can get a bit complicated, and they can easily become very chaotic easily. So you really have to be very good at keeping track of your negatives. You have to be very good at keeping track of your radicals, because it easily becomes chaotic. So here again, maybe pause the video and think of your strategy, maybe 4 major steps that you would think about. In my case, I'm thinking one, I need to get the conjugate. Okay. Then the next step that I want to do is I want to expand everything carefully. Okay. So I want to expand carefully. Then third, I'll pick my like terms. And then fourth, just simplify. So these are my main thought processes. I'll find the conjugate, I'll nicely expand, I'll collect my like terms, and then I'll simplify everything based on that, whether it's additions, whether it's subtractions, whether it's divisions, whatever. But that would be simplification. But first, I have to find the conjugate, expand nicely, and then put the like terms together, and then simplify. So that's my strategy. So going to start with my conjugate. So I need to make sure that I get the right conjugate here. Otherwise, like I said, these things, they can be very chaotic. It's actually one part of maths that I haven't come to terms with easily. So here now I get my conjugate, 2 root 3 minus 4 root 2, and then I do it carefully. Here I'll make sure that my sign is correct. You see, for my conjugate, this is one of the most important steps. Okay, I've got my conjugates. No mistake there. This one is here, there, there. Positive, positive, positive. And then this is there, this is there, this is there. So step 1, I have my correct terms. So now my expansion is, I'll get my 3 root 3. Okay. Then I repeat the second factor, 2 root 3 plus 4 root 2, like that. Then I go to the next expansion step, which is 2 root 2, right? Then I expand carefully here, I put 2 root 3 plus 4 root 2. Carefully there. And then at the bottom here, I know that I'm doing my difference of two squares. So I'll do my 3 here. So at the bottom, it's easier because the expansion is the difference of two squares. So this one and that one is here and there. Right, so now we do the expansion of this one. So 3 times 2 is 6. Then I have my radical signs carefully there. Then I go here. I have 3 times, I have my 12. And then I have my 3. Making sure that what we are putting is actually correct. So I have my 4 there. Remember, I'm just multiplying the real number and real number. Then I'm returning the radicals just the way they are, step by step. Then I go back here, 4 and 2 and 4 gives me 8. And then my radicals will be roots 2 and roots 2. Roots 2 and roots 2. I look at my bottom here, I've got 4 and then I've got 3 here. Together, we'll have 12. Okay, then minus, here I'll have 16. That gives me 16. This gives me 12. That gives me 2. So 2 times 16, I get 32. Okay, so now I look at the first thing is I need to make sure that these are repeating and those are repeating. So I can do something with those. So let me start from here. I'll have 6 and then I'll have 3 because this expands to 3. Then I'll go here and say 12. I'll combine these for now. Okay, I'll combine these for now. So that's root 6. And then I'll combine these as well for now. So I'll have plus 4 root 6. Like that. Okay. And then these are repeating. So we'll have 2 times 8, which is 16. Okay. And then here I have minus 20 at the bottom. So I continue on from there. Here I'll get 18 plus 16. And then these also have got the same radical, or you remember before we had a variable, but now it's the same radical there. So we're going to add these two, so which is 16 also. 16 root 6, okay, over minus 20. Okay, then here these two can actually add, and then we get 34 plus 16 root 6 over minus 20. I can factorize 2 here. It will give me 17. Here it will give me 8. Here it will give me root 6. And then there it will give me minus 10. Okay. Meaning that I can continue on and say that this is minus 17 let's write it like this, minus 17 plus 8 root 6 over 10. If you want, you can, which is the same as, you can still simplify this. Remember, this is not inside this expression. it's almost like it's outside here, the negative sign. So I can expand this to minus 17 over 10. Then I can do this and that also. So it's 4 over 5 root 6. It's the same. So you see how chaotic these things can become. So you really have to be very meticulous, very, very careful for you to not drop a sign. Okay, look at the many signs that are here. You also have to be very meticulous in order that you don't drop any radical. It's easy for me to write radical of 3 here, a square root of 3 instead of 2. The moment I just make that mistake, this whole work that I'll do this side will not be right. So the most important thing here is just to play the long game. Take it easy, step by step, and then you'll get there. All right, all the best and take care.